Hello again, and welcome to another video. Again, my name is James Clark III, and my goal is to try to help people in whatever way I can with anything regarding health and wellness. Now, again, I just have to say this each time. I'm not a certified clinician. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist, not any of these things, but I do a lot of research. And the research that I've done, I'd like to share with people anything that can be helpful to anyone who is undergoing difficulties, whether it be physical difficulties or any mental type of illness that they're struggling with. Whatever I can do that's helpful. Now, what we're going to talk about today is going to be losing weight. This is a very difficult topic to handle. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of information out there, a lot of misinformation. I want to try to set the record straight, and I'm going to try to keep it within the allotted time, 15 to 20 minutes. It's going to be a little difficult, but in losing weight, we're going to discuss why is it so hard? Why is it so hard to lose weight? It shouldn't be that hard. Just eat less, right? That's not the case. Do we want to lose weight or do we want to lose fat? What is BMI? What about hopping on the scale every day? What is the purpose of having fat? What is a healthy amount of fat that we want to have in our body? These are some things that we're going to talk about. So let's get right into it. Losing weight. Why is it so hard to lose excess weight and keep it off? The Biggest Losers Experience. Now this comes from, was published in the NIH. Oh no, this was from the Harvard Health Publishing, Harvard Medical School. This was written by Robert H. Schmerling, MD, in March 2018. And he says, one reason is that in order to lose weight, we are in a way fighting our own biology. As we lose weight, the body adapts to resist it by lowering the resting metabolic rate. It's RMR. You're going to hear about that again a little later. That's the amount of energy spent while at rest when the engine of the body is idling. So when you're at rest, sleeping, or just laying down, not doing much, your body's still burning off calories. But that experience of trying to lose weight, your body fights that and adapts to try to hold on to more fat because that fat is energy. Another thing is said that in that Biggest Losers Experience, in that TV show, the average weight loss was 128 pounds, which is plus or minus 40% of that total mass in body weight. That's quite a bit, 40%. Another difficulty is that family, friends, the public, healthcare providers, a lot of times believe that somebody just simply lacks willpower. So when you think somebody lacks willpower, that can also come out in their attitude, in them giving that healthcare or trying to help someone to lose weight. The NIH says in an article, National Institute of Health, it's published in PubMed, National Library of Medicine, Why Weight Loss Maintenance is Difficult, from August 30th, 2017. It says many HCP healthcare providers hold strong negative attitudes, and they hold these stereotypes about people with obesity that can affect the care that they provide. So what I was just mentioning, maybe they don't put as much effort into helping that person, and they just, you just lack the willpower. And they have this, I really don't care attitude, which is not helpful at all. Reducing caloric intake results in acute compensatory changes, increases and decreases in hormones that affect appetite, reductions in energy expenditure, increase in appetite, all of which promote weight gain. So the fact that you're trying to lose weight, your body's going to fight back and say, no, we need to keep this fat on. Number one, 10 things we need to look at. Number one is genetics. There's a 40 to 70% variance in BMI, which is basal body mass index. 40 to 70% variance in BMI is related to hereditability. And that suggests that about half of the variance in body size can be attributed to genes. The other half is due to environmental influences. So some of this can be inherited. So about half of people that are obese is inherited. There's nothing they can do about it. They were just born with it. Second thing to consider, hormonal adaptations. Reducing food intake leads to negative energy balance, which triggers a series of hormonal changes to prevent starvation. Body weight rate is regulated in the hypothalamus area in the brain, which has identified modulators of appetite, which include leptin, ghrelin, cholecystokinin, peptide YY, insulin, pancreatic polypeptide, glucagon-like peptide 1, JETS GLP-1, and gastric inhibitory polypeptide. Basically, these are all hormones that are in your brain that control your ability to lose and gain weight. All of this leads to an increase in appetite, excess food intake, slowing of fat metabolism, increase in hunger, decreases in satiety, and it promotes energy storage. So trying to force yourself to lose weight creates all of this cataclysm of things that this cascade of things that happens to your body and these hormonal changes in your brain that say, no, we want to hold on. We don't want to lose weight. We want to store it. Number 3, the slowing of your RMR, resting metabolic rate, which we spoke about already. Number 4, there's neural factors that are involved. Consumption of sugary and fatty foods. This is as it relates to obesity. It drives dopamine. So eating the sugary and fatty foods can drive chemical dopamine in your brain. Reduction in sugary and fatty foods, you can have unpleasant feelings, physical and psychological changes, which include insatiable cravings, fatigue, and poor mood. So you can have these cravings that are just, you just go on a food binge and you just can't stop eating. Fatigue, poor mood, people in a bad mood because they're trying to lose weight. This was all taken from the same abstract in the National Institute of Health from PubMed. These next 5 are things that I came up with. Number 5, environmental factors. How one was raised, social status, and the food available. If you come from a poor background, maybe you're on government assistance, the food that you were given just wasn't healthy food that was available to you. The way you were raised, mothers dealing with a lot, or parents dealing with a lot, raising their children. The kid cries, they just want a cookie, give them the cookie, give them the sugar. Maybe you weren't raised in a household where healthy foods were an option. You didn't have that option as a child. You couldn't make that decision for yourself. Easy access to unhealthy foods. Number 6, walk into a 7-Eleven and see how many healthy choices you have to eat. How many people really want to eat that yogurt that looks like it's been sitting in that plastic cup for weeks on end? A little plastic bag of apples. Nobody wants to eat that. Number 7, high cost of healthy foods. Let's face it, food that's not good for you is definitely cheaper. High cost of healthy foods, that makes it even more difficult to try to lose weight. Added sugar to foods. A lot of the foods that we eat have sugars added to them. The breads, the pasta, sauces that we eat. All of these things have sugar added to them. Number 9, veggies and fruits lack nutrients. These fruits and veggies aren't grown like they used to be, grown in a garden, grown from the soil. The soil doesn't have a chance to rest. All those nutrients are not in the vegetables and fruits that we eat. So you eat these fruits and they don't have the same flavor that they should have. So they're really not satiable because the nutrients aren't in them. Number 10, food is social. Anytime you go out to an event, what happens? It's a lot of times it's surrounded by food. You go to a wedding, you go to any event, company outing, cookout, obviously, barbecue, family get together, always surrounded by food. Everything revolves around food. And those food choices usually aren't healthy food choices. So here's some suggestions that I came up with. Number 1, take it slow. Don't make any drastic changes. You don't have to lose weight overnight. Just make the slow changes and your body will slowly start to adjust. Number 2, start now. There's no better time than the present. Don't delay. Make those little changes, but start now. A little bit of exercise and a little bit of diet goes a long way. Number 3, think positive. Think positive thoughts. Like, this is a change you're going to make for your lifestyle. You're going to start feeling better. And your body's going to reward you for it. You're going to feel better. You're going to get those release of endorphins in your brain. Once you start walking, once you start enjoying nature, you're going to feel better. Number 4, surround yourself with support. You don't need people who are going to make fun of you or who are going to tell you negative things you're not going to do. Oh, you've always tried to lose weight. Forget it. You may as well just give up. Or, hey, come eat this. Look at this cheesecake. Don't you want some? No. Surround yourself with people who are going to support your decision and help you at the same time. Number 5, scrap the fad diet. All these diets, you walk into Barnes and Nobles, there's a whole section, no carb, all meat, no meat diet, plant diet. There's all types of diets. I can't even think of all the diets that there are out there, but there's a lot of them and they don't work because your body wasn't made to not eat those macronutrients. Your body needs proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. You need all 3, just within moderation. Number 6, talk to a healthcare professional, which should actually be number 1. It goes without saying. If you need to get blood work done, talk to your doctor, talk to a nutritionist, dietitian, whatever it takes. Help them, get them to help you get started on the right path. Number 7, have a plan. Have a plan in place. Write things down of what you're going to do and just follow that plan. You have to make adjustments along the way, but it will work. Number 8, realize that it will take time. You didn't gain all this weight in 3 weeks, 2 months. You're not going to lose it in a couple months or 30 days. And most times when people lose that weight that quick, they wind up gaining it back. That's another thing to keep in mind. I know people that have had the stomach surgeries, they've had used all these drugs to lose weight. They wind up gaining it back a lot of times. And those procedures are very dangerous. You have to talk to a medical professional to get those things done. But why not start on the most natural way first? Number 9, find a training partner. This one's very helpful because when you don't feel like exercising, that person can encourage you and say, hey, come on, let's go. Don't give up. When you feel like eating something that you shouldn't, call them up on the phone, send them a message, say, hey, I'm at this place, we're eating somewhere, I feel like eating this. And they'll get right back to you and say, hey, that support that you need. A training partner, somebody who's going to push you when you get to the gym. You're having a bad day or something, you want to just take it easy. No, you need that person behind. Come on, let's go, let's do it. And then you can do the same in retrospect to them. Number 10, do not give up. Under no circumstances, do not give up. If you make a mistake, you go to a party, you eat something, you go out to dinner, you have a dessert, you feel guilty. Okay, it's already happened. Get right back on the horse. It's interesting. Children don't learn how to walk by getting instructions. They learn how to walk after they keep falling. But they learn how to walk because there's something they want to get. Keep your mind focused on that goal. Eventually, you'll be able to walk and get to that goal. Now, here's interesting. Some things to remember. Some things to remember. Keep in mind how long it took you to gain this weight. If it took you a long time to put the weight on, like it usually does, you're not going to lose it that fast. And the safest and healthiest way to lose weight is no quick weight loss. Lose the weight naturally, it will come off. And then when it comes off, it will stay off. You'll be much better, in a much better position to maintain it and keep that weight off. Watching the scale. This one I have a difficulty with myself in watching the scale. I don't use the scale. I gave up using the scale. I watch my clothes. With the scale doesn't really tell you how much weight you're actually losing. Let me stop. It tells you how much weight you're losing, but doesn't tell you how much fat you're losing, which that's what you really want to lose, is the body fat, the unhealthy fat. So if you watch your clothes, to me, it just seems much easier for me to watch my clothes, because your weight is going to fluctuate. Especially if you start doing resistance training, you might actually gain a pound or two. And then what happens, you usually get discouraged and then you want to give up. So in my opinion, it's best not to watch a scale unless you weigh yourself maybe once a month, every 2 or 3 weeks, something like that, so you see steady progress. But when your clothes start to shrink, because don't forget, you have fat all over your body. It's not just fat in your midsection, it's on your legs, your arms, your shoulders, it's even in your muscles. So you can start losing fat that's in your muscles, your arms will start to shrink, and oh wow, my arms were bigger before, now I'm, maybe I'm losing muscle. Most likely, if you're feeding yourself regularly, you're losing fat, which is what you want to do. Remember why you started on this journey. Remember why and write it down and keep that in mind. If it's your family you want to lose weight for, if it's for your health, it's for your job, your career, whatever is your why, write it down and keep that as a goal. And remember, you want to lose unhealthy fat. There's 3 types of fat. Subcutaneous fat, that's the fat underneath your skin. There's visceral fat, that's around your organs. And there's also fat in your liver. Now you can see someone that's thin, but they have a tiny little belly. Their liver could be very fatty. It's usually because of alcohol or a lot of sugar. Those are things you want to be careful of. And that visceral fat, the fat that's around your organs, makes your organs, it's harder for them to work with that visceral fat. Subcutaneous fat, that's quote unquote the good fat. One thing that was brought out by the National Institute of Health, we asked a question earlier, what's a good healthy amount of body fat? Good percentage of body fat for men, according to the NIH, 12 to 20% for men, and for women, 20 to 30%. Now, some even estimate, not from the NIH, but other sources say even up to 25 to 31% is still healthy. 25, 31%, I mean, you definitely have some love handles, but it's still healthy. And that's the main goal. You want to remember you're living a healthy lifestyle. That's the change you want to make, to live a healthy lifestyle. There's some notes to skinny people. I'm not mad at you. There's some things to keep in mind though. Your body doesn't store fat. Be happy you live somewhere where food is accessible. If you didn't live somewhere where food was readily accessible, you'd have a serious problem just trying to stay alive. Don't be a know-it-all. You may be thin. You may have grown up in a good environment where eating healthy food was encouraged. There wasn't a lot of sugary or packaged foods in your house. That's great. Don't be a know-it-all. You don't know what it's like for someone who is obese. A few centuries ago, only fat people were rich. When you looked at fat people 200-300 years ago, wow, how'd you get so fat? Oh, his family comes from money. I wish I was fat. No, that's what your body is made to do, to store fat. Just keep that in mind. If you have never thought about eating food 24 hours a day or had an obsession with eating food, wondering what you were going to eat from the first time you woke up in the morning, you cannot relate to what people that are obese are going through. Someone who is 100 pounds overweight probably has this issue. And last but not least, I'm not promoting obesity, but with knowledge comes wisdom. With wisdom comes understanding. With understanding comes power. The power to be able to help someone else to lose weight and to change lives. That's the main goal of what we're trying to do. Trying to help people lose weight, get healthy, stay in a healthy state, to lower cholesterol, hypertension, anxiety. All of these things are going to help you. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, write any comments that you have. If there's anything you want me to cover, to do research on, please let me know. And until next time, here's wishing you a happy and healthy day.